Good morning, everyone. It's June and very hot outside. Come spend a day with me as I show you how I keep my garden thriving and how I handle things that didn't do so well. And if you're new here, my name is Shanice from Sunshine Gardens. I garden in Arizona, Zone 9. So I want to introduce you to our new flock. We got 2 new chickens this year. We wanted 2 laying hens, but one ended up being a rooster. So meet Roosteroo, the rooster. He's actually really sweet. We named the hen Chomper because she likes to chomp on our fingers. They are both so wonderful and I'm so happy to have them. Then we have Stormy, our blue Australope. She doesn't lay eggs, but we still love her. And Daisy, my beautiful black Coyoga duck. And she lays eggs like crazy. And the very first chicken that we got, Tinkerbell, our Easter egger chicken. Now let's start watering the plants. The best time to water your plants in the desert is from 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. Watering during this 3-hour sweet spot protects both your wallet and your plants from the major hidden costs of desert gardening. Save money and avoid watering after 8 a.m. Next, we're going to do some transplanting. I have 1 empty space in this 4-divider grow bag. Lucky for me, I started some eggplants from seed a few weeks ago, and they are now ready to be transplanted. I believe this will be the perfect spot. It's good soil, and this area has really good shade. I wouldn't advise to transplant during the month of June, but I've done this before with heat-loving vegetables, and they all turned out great. Over the week, monitor it daily and give it plenty of water. Giving the seedling the extra care will help establish the root systems. I actually love growing eggplant here in the desert. It's really easy to maintain, and the eggplant itself is such a beautiful vegetable. Water evaporation is a huge deal as a desert gardener, so we need to build a basin to trap our low flow stream. And I'm going to show you exactly how I do it around this yellow bell bush. So here's 3 easy ways you could build a basin around your plants. Step 1 is scrape and clear the area. Take a hoe or shovel and clear the circular area around the base of the plant. Your basin should stretch out towards the drip line. This is the outer edge where the leaves end, where the roots need water the most. Step 2 is digging the trench. Turn your tool inward and gently dig a shallow circular trench about 3 to 4 inches deep around the outer ring. Pull the loose bare soil outward away from the plant as you dig. It takes a little bit of time to do this, but this is what it looks like after it's done. A nice, beautiful basin around the plant. This is what's going to help you save water and keep your plants thriving, and avoid water runoff and evaporation. Now we need to build up the wall, which is the berm. You can use a shovel or a hoe, but I use my hands to pack that displaced dirt into a sturdy raised ridge or a wall 4 inches high all the way around the circle, and then tap it down flat so that way it doesn't wash away when it's being filled up. And we're ready to fill it up. How exciting is this? This is going to make it so much easier to water this plant. Now, I wouldn't say this was easy to do, but it's necessary to do, especially when you're gardening in the desert. And feel free to use any tool you need to get the job done. If you have a hard time digging in the dirt, you could also use a rototiller. And then I'll water down the berm to keep it in place. Moving forward, I'm going to show you how I create a DIY water station using a cat litter box. And it works really good. So I do all this on a small table, and I order my water fountains from Temu, which is really affordable and they last a long time. And then I decorate it using rocks and pebbles. You could usually find rocks when you're hiking, the Salt River, or the Dollar Tree. And I use larger rocks towards the bottom, so that way the bees don't get trapped in there. Fill it up with water and let the power of the sun do the rest. And just like that, it's so easy to create on a budget a DIY solar panel water fountain. It's so peaceful and a wonderful addition to my garden. And now it's 12 o'clock and the current temperature is 104 degrees. I'll show you what's thriving and what's not doing so well in this Arizona summer. I'll start off with the plants that didn't do so well, like the squash plant. That's one thing that I struggle with is growing squash here in the desert. This vegetable is definitely a pest magnet in my garden. So here it is in the month of June and not even producing. So I'll just go ahead and pull it out and put something else in its place. Like it wants to grow, but it just really struggles. The next plant that's not doing so well is my sweet potato. And my own chickens are actually eating the leaves off this plant. So my solution will be putting it up higher. I put it on a plant stand, that way it's high enough where the chickens can't get it. I have a little area next to my hoop house where I grow flowers in the spring, and it does not look pretty right now. This is definitely just gonna have to be my spring flower area. I'll leave this area the way it is right now and work on it more during the cooler months. My cinder block raised garden bed did not hold up to the summer heat. I grew so much lettuce and spinach in this raised garden bed during the springtime, but the soil is drying out too quickly for me to grow anything during the summer. So I'll leave it the way it is and work on it during the cooler months. The only thing I have growing in here is peppers and mint. On a positive note, we have a lot of plants that are doing well, like this heat-loving Queen's Wreath vine plant, a ton of basil growing all over. We planted an avocado seed and it sprouted. Our pomegranate tree is continuing to thrive, and for the first time, it's actually producing multiple fruit. Our apricot tree has doubled in size and has new growth. I had a few roses that bloomed. Our citrus trees are absolutely thriving. We have one lemon tree and a navel orange tree. So if you want to grow fruit in the desert very easily, I highly suggest growing citrus trees. A lot of our heat-tolerant bushes that we got a few years from the nursery is doing so well, like this fiery cassia bush and our yellow cassia bush. I like to call this area no man's land. Why? Because, well, it's hard to grow things over here, but I was able to grow these pink morning glory bushes here. They kind of wilt during the day, but overall they keep this area really shaded, and they bloom pretty pink flowers. Our cactus is doing good, of course. It's a heat-loving plant that doesn't require that much water. And our mother of thousands, which we have growing all over the garden. And I think this plant also blooms purple flowers in the springtime. Now let's talk about using pest spray in the garden. The absolute best time to spray your plants for pests in Arizona summer is late in the evening, between 7:30 and 8:30 p.m. when the sun goes down completely, or if the area is well shaded. Spraying at dusk gives a liquid or oil-based spray a full 8 to 10 hours of dark, cooler night temperatures to dry completely on the leaves. And it also protects the beneficial pollinators, which are active during the day. I don't have too many plants producing in the month of June, but I did harvest a few cucumbers off this plant. It looks so cute and perfect. And then I had a few small peppers, which I usually cook in my eggs. Gardening in the desert is not easy by any means, especially in Arizona. It's really hot and dry out here, so I really have to strategize and plan my whole garden. Especially when you're gardening on a budget, it's a little bit more difficult to garden. But as long as you choose the right variety of plants, provide shade, and water on a watering schedule, you can have a thriving garden in the desert. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video.